So recently, my company, we've been involved in several transactions that either involve the buyout or the sale of a business, whether that mean partnerships are buying each other out, or it could mean that the business is overall being sold or somebody's exiting. There's a lot of these transactions happening right now. And it's a common theme coming up that the issue that comes to the table as soon as an entrepreneur wants to sell their business, the first thing they realize is that they need good financials. And a lot of people see it as the vehicle. The financial statements, the numbers are the vehicle to A, getting their taxes done, and B, exiting successfully. Like it's just the necessary thing they have to do. But beyond that, having good financials, having a good idea of your bookkeeping, having good track of where money is coming and going is going to help you get the best deal possible and actually help you win in the exit. And when you start seeing that as the tool that you need to know if you're getting a good deal, it becomes way more valuable. And one of the struggles that we've seen entrepreneurs face is not really understanding the numbers they need to know when they're thinking of exiting. Like, somebody could offer you $1 million for your business. And how do you know that's a good deal? How do you know if you should take it? Other than whatever value you prescribe to the $1 million. And if you, in a vacuum, you go, $1 million is a lot of money and I want that money instead of the business. Okay, cool. But, if the business is generating $1 million a year for you, then it's not really a good deal because you're trading away 1 year of your money, for the whole thing, for the whole machine. So you have to understand that if you're selling a machine that prints money, right, which your business should be, if your business is making you money, then it's really a machine that makes you money. And you're really selling the money machine. You're selling the machine that's generating that. What is that machine worth? What is that machine worth? And you can get a valuation done. You can get, calculations done to figure out what it truly is. But ultimately, the value of your business is what someone's willing to pay for it. And what somebody's willing to pay for it is going to be a function of what money it makes. So if you have a money machine that makes $100 a year, guess what? It's going to be worth less than a money machine that makes $1,000 or $1 million a year. And you have to know where you stand and what it's printing so you know what is a worthwhile deal and what the person's getting. Same thing if you're on the other side of the transaction. You have to know, what is this money machine I'm about to buy producing? And how can I actually value that? So as opposed to telling you how to value your business, right? We're not going to go through all of that in today's episode. I just want you to understand that you have to know what the money machine does. What is it printing? And in order to know that, you need to have clarity on your financials. You have to know, hey, my EBITDA, which is your earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, a fancy way of saying basically your operating profit. What money in cash flow does the business generate in profit before some of these fancy things that decrease it? So when you have a really good grip on your EBITDA, you can then figure out where you stand in your industry comparably to say, am I making a similar EBITDA to other folks in my industry? Am I outperforming? Am I underperforming? And then you can see, hey, if my industry, let's just say, has about an average of a 4x multiple of EBITDA, let's say. So if it's a 4x multiple of EBITDA and your EBITDA is $100,000, somebody would offer you $400,000 for the business. That would be seemingly fair if all of these things were true. But if someone were to offer you $100,000 for your business and your EBITDA was $100,000, then you'd have to say, well, you know what, in my industry, the multiple's a bit higher. I think I can do better. You have to know where you stand and know the range of what's acceptable to you so you know you're getting a good deal and that you're not selling yourself short. Because if your business can print, let's just say your business can print that $100,000 a year, then it's not worth selling it for $100,000 because you're only going to be selling it for a year worth of cash flow. And you'd be better off keeping the business. So you have to know that when you go to exit, these multi-million, multi-8-figure offers don't just pop up out of nowhere. You may have heard stories about somebody selling a business for like $200 million. Well, number one, they probably own a share of that. So did they cash out $200 million exactly? No. And also, that was the purchase price. That's not necessarily cash transferred. So you have to also understand that typically these larger deals will take place over the course of multiple years. There will be kind of a buyout or an earn-out period where the person's going to be receiving cash flow on a longer term basis. Think about it. If a buyer comes along, do they really have $200 million in a bank account? I mean, some might, but some of the bigger guys could in terms of private equity. But overall, they're going to try to manage their cash flow effectively, and they're going to try to minimize how much they pay you up front. So the idea is to buy the business from you, have it start generating cash flow to essentially fund your buyout. And they want to make that last as long as possible. So when we talk about this, we're talking about when you come up with the value of your business and figuring out what you can tolerate in terms of a price, you have to be focused on your financials. You have to know what is fair to you, not just what feels good, but what is really fair to you based on the math, based on the logic. And if you don't know that, the books will tell you that. And your accountant should be able to tell you that. And if you don't have an accountant who can do that for you, then that is why fractional CFOs exist. And we can absolutely help you with that too. If you're looking to prepare for an exit, we can help kind of make sense of the financials, do a little bit of cleanup, and help you get some insights that you need to know what ballpark range you should be aiming for right now. And really, it comes down to what you ultimately will make you the most comfortable and is worth the time and energy for you. Because sometimes people take pricing, or they take a price for their business that they know they could do better if they waited longer, but it's just worth the peace. It's worth the time to not have to do that and to be able to take the money now and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm good. I can take this money. I can go start my next thing. Or, you know what, I'm comfortable selling it right now because I really don't want to run it through another busy season, So you have to be mindful of, when do you want to sell? How do you want to exit? And what are the financials telling you in terms of a good time or a good price to accept? So just keep that in mind. If you're trying to think about exiting your business, get those financials in order. Even if you're not even thinking about it yet, it's not on the horizon. If it's a possibility as an outcome, the sooner that you can get started with really rock solid financials, the better off you're going to be in those negotiations, because you're going to be able to stand your ground and say, no, because here's my EBITDA and here's what I deserve. And you'll be able to come to the negotiation table well more prepared.